I don't know what is going on at Intel's HQ, but this is amazing. It should not be possible, and this is going to be the best news you're going to hear all day long. Hopefully this is enough to bring some excitement into the PC market in 2026. So what exactly has changed with the 250K, and is this worth buying? I hope I haven't spoiled it to you already. It's so annoying. I don't want to pay hundreds of dollars to just change my Windows wallpaper just because my Windows isn't licensed. Well, why don't you try Hookeys? That's a ton cheaper, and if you use the code TN20, you get it even cheaper. What do you mean? How do I get it, and how is it possible? Well, see this video here, or the one you're watching? Click in the link on the video description, add the Windows 11 CD product to the cart, proceed to checkout, add the code TN20 for the extra discount. So what, the Windows 11 Pro OEM key is just $23.22? Yeah. Choose the preferred payment option and complete the purchase. The key will be available on the purchased orders in a few moments. Copy the key and paste it into your Windows activation settings, and you're all done. Well, that was easy. Is that Ryan Gosling? No. Anyway, by the way, the same discount code also works website-wide, so go check out other products, maybe like Microsoft Office. So if you don't know what has just happened, Intel has released two CPUs, 250K and then 270K. The 270K review is already out. Go check that one out because I found out some very interesting things that I wasn't sure if Intel meant to do that or not, but hey, this is 250K review, and what exactly has changed with the 250K? Because naming wise, this is new. So this is a refresh to the Intel Core Ultra 5 245K. This refresh actually gives us 4 extra efficiency cores, which is amazing. We didn't rebrand them to Supers or something else. We've got a bit more cache, higher clock speeds, but the biggest thing for creators is that the IMC, the integrated memory controller, now has jumped from 6400 to 7200. So if you already having some fast RAM lying around and you weren't able to run it fast speeds on your current CPU, then this one will most likely run it. And it's the same with the 270K. But I don't want to dwell in the specs too much because you actually want to know how good this is. And this is where things get crazy. I'm gonna leave the best news till last, but watch this. We start with the power consumption. This 250K is pulling 161 watts at peak. And when I'm seeing sustained workloads like Cinebench R24, rendering CPU, we're pulling 150 watts, something like that. In idle, when we're still running OBS in the background, we're roughly around 20. So I assume when we kill all the background applications, we're gonna be the same as on 285K, which will be roughly around 12 watts, compared to the 9950X, which pulls a lot more watts and on idle is also a lot less power efficient. This 250K looks good. And you might be thinking, why do you compare these two CPUs? Oh, you just wait. The M5 Max, in comparison, something from the Apple world, is obviously pulling quite a lot less power, and because this is on laptop, it can't sustain those high clock speeds. It's actually just gonna pull it down. As you can see, the sustain is a lot lower than the peak. But moving on to Cinebench R24, I've got two CPUs here, 9950X and the 12600K. In multi-core score, the 9950X is 24% faster, and it's supposed to be like that. The single core score is actually slightly lower on the 9950X. The 12600K, which probably a lot of people upgraded to because that was amazing CPU, and I still have been recommending this, is 21% slower in the single core score and 46% slower in the multi-core score. That is huge performance gain on the 250K for very similar price point. But I want to talk about that later because that just blows you away. In Geekbench 6, we can see that the 9950X is actually slightly faster than the single core scores, but the multi-core score is now only 3% faster, so not that big of a difference. The 9800X 3D is slower in single and multi-core scores, which is ridiculous. The 285K is 0.4% faster in the single core and 14% faster in the multi-core scores. But what about actual benchmarks and actual applications? And this is where I think most people are kind of like, oh yeah, I've seen the Cinebench scores, I've seen the Geekbench scores, I don't need to see the rest. Where the truth is that this is where the rest of the actual workflow actually lies, because now we can really take advantage of the iGPU that's inside that no one really talks about, because gaming reviews, iGPU is just whatever. But actually in creative workflows, that is a huge little addition. There's incredible media engines in there. Number two, the memory bandwidth, 7200 megatransfers per second. We can finally get advantage of all of that, not just CPU rendering, because faster RAM in Cinebench just doesn't show anything. And in Geekbench, it's the same. But now in workloads, we actually see that. The 9950X from AMD is faster in the Photoshop scores. It is quite a bit faster, and AMD performs really, really well on Photoshop. But the 270K that we just tested on the last video is basically the same performance within a couple of percent, and the 285K is actually slightly slower. So if you're doing Photoshop, the 250K is pretty impressive. Now in Lightroom Classic, I can see that the 9950X is 7.8% faster in standard scores and 6% faster in the multi-core scores. Interestingly, the 275K is quite a bit faster in overall scores and it just beats AMD and everything out there. It is quite a big jump from 250K to 270K. We're about 13 to 19% faster in the overall scores. That's a huge difference. The 285K for some reason is actually slower in Lightroom Classic than this 250K. But video editing, here's where things get exciting, because I'm testing this with the RTX 4090. So that means that we're not taking advantage of the 50 series media engines, and we're really seeing if the CPU actually gives you any benefit. Now that being said, if you're thinking about which GPU to buy, go check out my videos. I've made too many recently about the GPUs. You should really buy the 50 series. But if you're already on the 40 series, GPUs might be an expensive upgrade, but the CPU might be a very cheap upgrade for you. So that's why you can see that what the GPU already gives you extra if you have a 40 series GPU. So the 9950X is slower, 1.3% slower in the standard overall scores and 8.7% slower in the extended scores. In fact, a lot of the standard scores are slower, which is absolutely amazing. The 270K is 6 to 7% faster, and then the 285K is very similar performance to the 270K. So I am impressed what I'm seeing right now here. Now in After Effects, we're seeing that the 9950X is about 3 to 5% faster in the overall scores. So the 250K is actually impressive. The 270K is 6 to 7% faster. So we're getting really good performance in After Effects as well. It's holding on its weight very, very well. What about DaVinci Resolve? The 9950X is 6 to 7% slower. What? Yeah, the 9950X is just slower, which is crazy. The 270K is about 6 to 10% faster, and then the 285K performs very similarly as well. So the 250K is actually impressive, like just seriously impressive. What about CPU rendering in 3D? In V-Ray, we can see that the 9950X is 42% faster, and that's where we can see that the 9950X, just pure CPU performance, that's where we shine here in V-Ray. 270K is actually about 38.7% faster, so there's quite a big difference in there. The 9900X is 13.5% faster. But to even be in the same sentence on comparison in V-Ray as the 9900X, it's pretty impressive. We're looking at Blender, and here CPU rendering, the 9950X again pulls ahead like no other. The 270K is quite a bit faster here as well, 41% faster, around 40% faster in junk shop, monster and classroom scenes, which is insane. But when we're comparing it to the 12600K, where a lot of people are on or are using, then this 250K is 41 to 67% faster in the overall CPU rendering. That's absolutely incredible. Now, I've left the best news to last, which is pricing. If you didn't already know, you can check it out in the video description below or scan this QR code, but the pricing for this is supposed to be $199. The 9950X that we just compared it against is more than double the price point. It shouldn't be possible. So Intel's created something so affordable, so cheap, that this is the best bang for buck CPU money can buy for everybody, not just for creators. I've peeked on the gaming reviews as well. I'm not going to talk about them, but I'm already sure that you know 250K is amazing in there as well. There is really no downsides about the 250K. I can't think of anything. It's just amazing. It does everything well. At that price point, I can't ask for anything else. And if you want more, just go with the 270K, which is slightly more expensive, but gives you even more. The only downside about this chip is the rest of the stuff that's happening in the industry, which is DRAM shortage, thanks Sam Altman, SSD shortage, thanks Sam Altman, all sorts of other shortages because the DRAM shortage, GPU shortage, well, thanks Sam Altman again. So can I recommend the CPU? Absolutely, it's the best. I don't know why you shouldn't buy it. The links are in the description below. Congratulations! If you've reached this part of the video, you're in the top 13% of people's attention graph. And there's more than 50% chance that you seeing this means you're not subscribed. So consider subscribing, hitting that bell icon, liking the video. It would mean a world to us. If you'd like to get detailed access to our internal benchmark database of CPUs, GPUs, SSDs, and so on for creators, then may I invite you to sign up to our newsletter where we send out relevant information a couple of times a month when there is information. I'm not interested in flooding your inbox. This is when there is good information to share for your creative workflow, then we'll send those emails out. And also you'll get the most exclusive access to some of the behind the scenes, perhaps even giveaways. So scan that QR code or link in the description below. If you've got any urgent questions to me personally, you can always reach out on Minect. I'll always get back to my messages. If you're looking for a new hoodie, may I recommend this one. This is not just any cheap random hoodie. This is a high quality hoodie that you can get. And when purchasing this, we get a small little kickback to help us build what we're building here. My passion is to help creators choose the best tech for their workflow and help them save some money in the process. This is Tech Notice, and if you've reached this part of the video, you have been upgraded to the top 5% of the people who ever see this part. And now YouTube thinks that you like this video, and if you haven't subscribed, you can do it on this side. Thanks very much guys for watching. See you soon. Bye-bye.